keep moving forward.
Welcome, lights, camera, action. Welcome back here to the Director's Cut. I'm Greydon, and I'm your guide through the deep dive in the world of movies. Right here, as you guys can read below, right here on the Director's Cut. Give me 1 second. Was toying with a different opening today, so didn't have my background. There we go. Now we're good. As always, I'm here on the Director's Cut. Check the description below for all the ways you can follow me, as well as my brothers and sisters right here on this channel as well. So hit the like button, hit the bell notification whenever we post content you that you're a fan of. Maybe you can come and like those thumbs up, hit the bell notification for more videos like this, and the subscribe button as well. Show your support to us. Before I begin, it's time for a coming attraction. And this is actually something that's coming up this Sunday right here. That's right. This Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Outrage Control is right here, ready to go with our host Kayla and Dirty Dango. So check that out. Let's get into the chat before I dive into Equalizer 3. Let's see. We got here Street saying, "Yo, what's up, man? How you doing tonight? I hope you're ready for football on Thursday. I know I am." Stopping by to show my support. Hey, Kayla, just played your intro to your new your promo video intro, sorry, to your new podcast coming up. What's good, G? What's up, Mrs. King? How you doing? How you doing? G Dog. What's up, Tim? How you doing, man? Peace out. Equalizer 1 was badass. Yes, yes. I'll get into more of that tonight as well, Tim. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, I agree with you, obviously. Bloodline fam. Actually, Juan, you want to know something? Got another surprise here tonight. That's right. Are you guys fanatics about something? Stay tuned for more right here on this channel. So let's see. Where were we before I dive in? And here we go. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Nick, for dropping by. We have Juan saying, Tim saying, "What's good, Juan? What did it do, Tim? Good, brother. Hope you had a nice day." Saying hi to each other back and forth. Gotta love that in the chats. We go, beautiful. We go, what's good, brother? Not much, Dylan. You guys can check his Domefield podcast coming up this week, Thursday night. He was just on with Tim. He was just on Tuesday night tailgate. Awesome episode. If you guys haven't checked it out, that was on live right before I was. So check that out in our replay section on YouTube. Outrage Control. That's right, Kayla. Outrage Control. I almost said outage control. Oh, and it was right there in front of the screen with me. I almost completely messed that one up. There we go, right there. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it, Tim. All right, Tim's the last one for right now. So, like I said, we're diving into Equalizer 3. The last, in my opinion, the last movie of the Equalizer franchise, starring Denzel Washington and directed by, I have the guys, Antoine Fuqua. Antoine Fuqua. Yeah, 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 yeah. I should just bleep out the last name every time I said Fuqua, 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 Fuqua. Yeah, bleep that out, YouTube. But anyways, we're talking about Equalizer. Sim said the first one was awesome. First one brought us to the world of Robin McCall. So those of you that don't remember, I know I don't remember because I was only one when the original TV show came out. There was an original TV show out in 1985 to 89 called The Equalizer. It was a pretty much what Denzel does in here. He makes sure people who are unjustly um, accused of crimes or unjustly treated wrong, he makes sure it's all equalized and saves people and makes sure everyone's saved and equal that way. Denzel made a movie of it, and the first one was 2010. No, 2017. Sorry, 2017 was the first one. He made a second, and then the third one. And we recently, in 2021, we got a remake of the TV show starring Queen Latifah as Robin McCall, which plays a little bit different in here. She actually has a family in that one, so she has to keep her family safe while doing her equalizer thing, which is a lot cool. It's more high tech. And anything else, I recommend you guys watch that show too. It's a good one. Queen Latifah is amazing in everything she does. So watch her in that as well. Dude, he was such a badass, probably still is. He is for a man his age. Let's put it that way, Tim. For a man his age, he's such a badass. um, um, Here we go. We're going to my review right now. Right here we go. An Italian drug lord and his child pull up in a jeep in a secluded villa. Strewn across the rustic courtyard, which on better days would be an ideal vacation spot, are the bloody, dismembered bodies of a goon army. The man exits the jeep with a pistol, leaving the kid in the vehicle. He and one of his henchmen enter the home, where they discover more carcasses, whose cause whose causes of death, riddled by bullets, their faces cleaved by a butcher's knife, grow increasingly gruesome. Noted hitman turned ghost Robert McCall, played by Denzel Washington, sits beneath two gunmen. Is McCall a prisoner, or are they? He, of course, dispatches the team with ease, grabbing a set of keys from the dead drug lord's body and hold what McCall came that hold what McCall came to retrieve. It's this little box that doesn't really play much more into the movie. He does this box. We get no thing. We get no release of this MacGuffin at all in this movie. It's pretty much just a call right here. And to let you guys know, the Antoine Fuqua's movie with Denzel, this is their fifth one together. It started with Training Day. I think it went Training Day, Man on Fire, and all three Equalizers. This is their fifth movie together, so you would think they would know what each other would be going for, or what Denzel likes to do in these type of action films. I wouldn't necessarily call Denzel a action star, honestly. He's a very good actor that could play a wide variety of roles. He's better in comedies and dramas, but he's also like the first Equalizer, like Tim said, it was an awesome movie. But that also came out when John Wick 1 came out, and John Wick wasn't as huge as it was now. They were both on equal ground. As John Wick grew, as a character grew and grew and more established, and you enjoyed that character, Denzel's Robin McCall doesn't really grow in the movie. This movie just felt like a third installment of it. Eventually, as there's no emotional growth in the character or even emotional attachment from us, the viewer, or even growth in the aspect of the characters around him as well as himself, like there is in the John Wick series. I'm going to use a lot of John Wick tonight to go back and forth because John Wick by far is one of the biggest movies of the year. So that's why I'm going to do this, and one of the greatest action franchises of all time now. So that's why I'm doing it this way. What's up, Justin? How you doing, man? How you doing, man? How you doing tonight? I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. Too. So, for Fuqua in Washington has mine for a poor version of Jimmy Stewart and Anthony Mann. For those of you that don't know who Jimmy Stewart and Anthony Mann are, Jimmy Stewart's a classic actor. Harvey Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Philadelphia story. It's a Wonderful Life. Jimmy Jimmy Stewart and Anthony Mann was a director of Western. So when Jimmy Stewart took out of his leading man, this bumbling oof, and his everyman role to become a Western star, he ended up making a whole bunch of movies with him, about 8 of them, changed his character and everything. Those 2 guys went on to make some classics. So, e pairing them with Fuqua and Washington is a little bit, not necessarily perplexed, a good parallel here because they were Jimmy Stewart and Mann worked well together, where Fuqua and Washington have worked well together up until this point. Up until this point. Because make no mistake, the Equalizer 3, or as I would call it, the three equalizer is hot garbage. It's also fascinating but failed attempt by Fuqua and Washington to make their own Man Stewart film. Like I said, Fuqua and cinematographer Robert Richardson from Platoon and and provide further Western details throughout this entire movie. You look closely at this and you're a fan of Westerns, you get to see a little bit of Mann's and Stewart's movie style in here. Just needed to see one more action scene, then I could say it was great. But yeah, thanks, RL. Thanks, RL. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, for his age, Denzel Washington's action scenes are pretty good. They're just not great. He reminds me of the later stuff Bruce Willis was doing. His Bruce Willis's direct-to-video stuff just seemed like Bruce Willis was wanted to capture the beat of that action starting still, and never wanted to let it go. And those movies were kind of that way. As much as I like the Equalizer and Equalizer 2, as well as the Queen Latifah version, I didn't really care for this movie much. There's sometimes the effects are great, sometimes the scenes are great, sometimes they're not. They fail at times. They connect and they fail at the same time. And some of it, if that makes sense. I don't mean connect like the punches look completely fake. I mean connect like they don't make sense. They don't connect to that aspect of the movie. It just seems like it was put in there just to have one more action scene. I Sometimes action movies need a good subplot and need a good plot, not just all action. And I kind of felt like they dropped the ball on that aspect of it, the storyline aspect of this movie. I feel like they dropped the ball, and which what could have been a great swan song for the Robin McCall character and the Denzel Washington version of this franchise. There's even talks. I mean, seriously, there's talks about his son taking up the role and them making previews. Yes, yes, I'm talking about in the diner. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. They're trying to make it with his son, a prequel of sorts. I'm like, "Ah, to me, that's not going to work. Just beat this dead horse, let it lie there, make it into glue, and let it be. Revisit the Equalizer in another 10 years. You see, that's the thing. They say, "Oh, this doesn't work. Let's recast and redo it." No, sometimes a franchise just needs to die. People forget about it. Then you can bring it back again. Anyways, uh, I missed my note. Right here. There's a primary. Take the primary subplot for example. This is what I'm talking about. Dakota Fanning, which reteaming with Washington from Man on Fire. This time she's a CIA agent, Emma Collins. McCall phones a tip to Collins' desk that will change her career. The information nonsensically takes her from working a call center to field work, which never happens in the CIA because if you're at a desk, you're at a desk. If you're a field agent, you're a field agent. There's no, oh, I go from the desk to a field agent right away. No. In Hollywood, yes, but not in an actual job. No. Here, her arc, nevertheless, is flat out bad. She never provides herself to be a capable agent, and in her case, involving an Italian drug ring, barely connects McCall's stay in the village. Fanny appears overmatched in a few scenes, The pair occupy together. She unsuccessfully attempts to channel Jessica Chastain's turn in Zero Dark 30. If you're a fan of Zero Dark 30, Jessica Chastain is amazing in that. Go if any tries to do that, it doesn't work. Y- if it was kind of that way, RL, I kind of see where that's going. If it was a lighter side, like we see before he became the Equalizer, what his life was like, maybe as a CIA, FBI agent, maybe as a father, a husband, something like that. If we went more to his personal side of the story, that might actually make more sense for a prequel. Yes, kind of like The Old Man with Jeff Bridges. If you haven't seen The Old Man, I suggest you all check it out. Phenomenal movie right there. Thanks, Nick. You're fired too. uh, but anyways, I wish I could say the action fares better, but the staging lacks in imagination. The editing doesn't snap, and the score sounds mute. The film would rather go gory and gruesome to paper over its limp choreography and the craft anything bordering on memorable. The film's only saving grace is how much fun Washington appears to be having. He makes some surprising decisions that initially feel like outtakes, but because of how random they are, is he still playing McCall as a grieving widower, or does he want to push this character further towards his psychopathic territory? I'll I'll give it to Denzel in here. You can obviously tell he loves this character because he seems to enjoy himself in this movie. I might have felt yes, it was repetitive. The score was repetitive as well. When an actor likes a role so much and you could tell they have fun in it, sometimes the movie is fun to watch. Other times it's other times it's not. Other times it's not. Sub Cage, check out his stuff on UFC. He always been some awesome stuff there as well, man. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. My notes. Yes, like you could tell Denzel was having fun in this film, and when an actor has fun, you tend to see that, and you tend to have fun yourself. But half the time when Denzel is having fun, I'm just sitting there like, I'm kind of bored of this. And it's an action movie. You shouldn't be sitting there thinking you're bored part of the time in an action film. Yeah, I don't know about you, but that's not a good action film. But anyways, it's become old hat or even kind of lazy to compare every contemporary action film to John Wick. But this franchise, which launched the same year as the first John Wick, yes, like I said earlier, struggles to evolve like the Keanu Reeves films did. This trilogy has no emotional core, no narrative continuum, no pleasure with the genre it calls home. Instead, in successive offerings, the Equalizer franchise is tragically uneven. What's going on? I'm doing well, Ivan. How are you doing tonight, man? Awesome. Just talking the Equalizer, talking the future of this franchise too, where I see it going. And to let you guys know, the TV show does not, with Queen Latifah, does not play into here because it's the TV show is a remake of the TV show. Movies are separate. So, although I do have a theory of how they might be able to play them out together. Yes, Juan, this is the last one, last movie wise, for a while at least for me. RL, I would have liked to see more info on how he tracks people down. They could have fit that into the film. They could have. Like, how does he do this? And that's the one thing like I like about the Queen Latifah show. She has a guy who sits at a computer all day, like massive computer screen. He sits there, he types it, he gets all the information there, and he relays it to her via text message on her phone. That's how this was, and I would love to have seen how Denzel gets all his stuff like that. Maybe he's Batman. Maybe he has a Batcave. I don't know. We'll never compare it to John Wick. Yeah, it will never compare it to John Wick. Like I said, John Wick up the ante of action films. I would have to say, like John Wick by far as a franchise is one of the greatest action franchises of all time. As an action movie individually, each one builds upon itself. And that's a sign of not only a good franchise when you're building upon itself, but also building upon the set pieces or the action pieces too. It keeps your viewers drawn in because if they say, "Oh, I saw this like in the '90s," they're not going to be that much into it. Albeit like kind of like Expendables, but Expendables was an homage to '90s action done by a '90s action star, so it's kind of like a tongue in cheek type of thing. So their '90s stuff in there makes sense, but if you did that now, like John Wick, it wouldn't, in my opinion. I could be terribly wrong, but facts. I would like to see who trained him. Well, like I said, we don't get much into his personal background story. So having a prequel series or a prequel movie at least called called like Equalizer or called How to Be an Equalizer. There we go. How to Be an Equalizer and how he got trained in that aspect of things. That's how we do it. Okay. So now it comes time for that part of the show that I love doing. Is it too sweet? It can't be beat, or is it too sour? Don't even bother. I think you guys know where this one's going. But first, just to let you know, is it too sweet? No. Flip them upside down. Flip them all upside down. It's too sour. Don't even bother. Right there, too sour. Okay. Don't even bother with this movie. If you're a fan of of the Equalizer films, go watch it and make the decision for yourself. I honestly didn't enjoy it. I honestly didn't. You might. People have different tastes. If you liked it, comment down below on the replay on this. Tell me what you liked about it or what you didn't like about it as well. Continue to get that algorithm a push for YouTube as well. What up, JD? How you doing tonight? And RL is saying, okay, I've never watched a Queen Latifah Equalizer with Queen Latifah. Mission Impossible is best action franchise hands down. Can't agree with John Wick being the best. Mission Impossible is good. In my opinion, I can't wait till it's over. Now, not to say that they're not bad films, but they lost me after like what was it, Ghost Protocol? Yeah, they lost me. Yeah. The first one was the best. It goes one, two, three, obviously in that order. Is it worth going to see what else is going to be out there for the next 3 weeks? Glad you asked that. So right now for the next 3 weeks, something I usually don't do here is tell you what's coming next. I don't know what I'm talking about next week yet, but I'll tell you what's coming out. Just bringing up my list right here, my calendar, I should say. We have coming out this weekend Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, The Nun 2. Uh, so we have stuff coming out this week. Then we have Haunting in Venice. Oh, Dumb Money coming out the 22nd. Expendables 4, the new Spy Kids. Paw Patrol coming out. The Creator coming out. Saw X coming out. So yeah, that's over the next month. So there is stuff coming out, just nothing as that should have been as big as the Equalizer 3, in my opinion. Because this is the end of summer, so this should have been that end of summer blockbuster or that end of summer movie that got everyone hyped. Yes, Tim, Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol's coming out. Yes, and I'm going to review it right here on the Director's Cut, but not next week because it's not out next week. What were my favorite parts? One when it was over. No, I'm kidding. Um, it's tough. I mean, one of my favorite parts was seeing Dakota Fanning on screen again She hasn't been in anything in a while. Like I'm talking not necessarily movie aspect of it, things, but just seeing certain actors in here. Um, Seeing Dakota Fanning back on screen again. Amazing. I haven't caught a bunch of her newer stuff yet, but I love Man on Fire. She was phenomenal in that, and I thought I was gonna get some of that. Uh, uh, I was going to go. Uh, the second one I liked the best. Second part I liked the best. I mean, yeah, the diner scene kind of felt kind of rushed, but I kind of like that how small that fight seemed to be. Like they're stuck in a diner. There's not much you can do about fighting there. The concept was there that I liked, but it just wasn't. And Antoine Fuqua is a good director. This was one of those things that the actor and the director tried to work with a script that really wasn't there. So Antoine Fuqua, the small field, the diner fight scene, and Dakota Fanning were by far my three favorite parts of this movie. All right. All right, as always, guys, I want to say thank you for everyone for tuning in with me tonight. Just make sure my notes are up here. See if I have to say anything to close tonight. Let's see. Thanks for watching, diving into the deep cut with me. All the socials are down below, even mine. If you guys notice down here in this corner, directly by the director's cut logo, my Binbuster logo. Check me out at Binbuster. I talk movies, not just stuff in theaters, but physical media as well. So physical media came out today. The biggest one was Across the Spider-Verse. So if you haven't seen that yet, go to your local Walmart. Go to wherever you buy your physical media and buy that movie. Check it out on digital if you haven't checked that out. And also watch my review of that right here on the director's cut. I did a great one with that. Movie was fantastic. Yeah, I thought the bad guy was a little lackluster too. As well as you can find all those down there on my socials down below. You guys could find our socials on X, on Twitter, on X, on we're going to get a new Instagram. We're going to get a new Facebook. You know why? Because we're fanatics, and I'm a fanatic about movies, as you guys can tell with my show here. So until next time, remember there's more to the world of movies than what we see on the screen. I'm Greydon, and I'll be your guide through through the films and their history right here on the director's cut. Until next time, I will see